Local news about local people. This is Newslink, Indiana.
Good evening, I'm Chris Bavender. Thanks for joining us. It's the home stretch for the candidates who want to be governor. Incumbent Joe Kernan and businessman Mitch Daniels will use the holiday weekend to try to sway your vote. Our news gathering partner, Indiana Public Radio, caught up with the candidates to discuss several issues, including property taxes.
I think people who got bushwhacked by this entire fiasco with an extraordinary increase, let's say 2x or more, ought to be given a few years to grace period to come up to that new level of payment.
There has been no way to pay for the things that he has proposed. The people of Indiana are smarter than that, and it's reminiscent of the guaranteed 25% property tax reduction that we heard from our opponent back in 2000.
To hear more of the conversation, you can go to our website, newslinkindiana.com. Since the 1970s, a Ball State professor has kept track of hurricanes. After Hurricane Charlie, Newslink Indiana's Derek Tucker sat down to talk to him about his passion for storms.
Most people run away from hurricanes. Ball State geography professor Rob Schwartz seeks them out. He just returned to Muncie from Florida, where he lived through Hurricane Charlie.
There were 31 mobile home parks totally destroyed.
Schwartz is an expert on disaster relief and used his visit to Florida for research. He just started sorting through his data on Charlie, and it caused more damage than Hurricane Andrew. Andrew, however, struck an area that held a much bigger population. Still, despite the larger area, the emergency response time has greatly improved.
I interviewed several victims who lived in the Miami area, moved to the west coast of Florida, and then became victims of Hurricane Charlie. They said, in 3 days, they were where it took 3 weeks to get from Andrew.
Schwartz says he will return to Florida to continue his research. The only question is when. In Muncie, Derek Tucker, Newslink, Indiana.
And taking a look at our forecast, here's Brian Smith. Brian?
Good evening. Well, tonight we'll experience some patchy fog late with a low of 66 degrees, and for tomorrow we'll have a high of 83 degrees with partly cloudy conditions to go out and barbecue and grill out with your neighbors. And for our 5-day forecast, we'll have temperatures in the low to mid 80s with rain coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Chris?
Thanks, Brian. That is Newslink Indiana. Join us again at 6:27 tomorrow morning for more news and get local news about local people 24 hours a day at newslinkindiana.com.